Ambassador Trigane, the 22nd summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization is taking place tomorrow at Uzbek city of Samarkand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lead the Indian delegation at the summit, which will also be attended by Russian President Vladimir Putin, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and leaders of other SCO countries. So what is your expectation from the point of view of India's interest?
This summit is happening in the wake of the background of Russia-Ukraine war and also the Chinese and American geostrategic competition. And the world is also suffering to energy security, food security. These are major problems, especially in the wake of the pandemic. So therefore, SCO, which essentially deals with security matters, that India has been sharing this RETS, which is anti-terrorism exercises and structures. So this is significant in the sense that China, which is going to have its own major endorsement for Xi Jinping for the third time, CPC next month, and for Russia to show while they are having some losses in Ukraine, show that they still have some kind of an international support, which is very much there in terms of this grouping. As far as India is concerned, it has been the same voice for moderation, for dialogue, diplomacy everywhere, and also against extremism and terrorism. So this is something that Prime Minister Modi will continue. To talk about connectivity is a very major issue. But more importantly, we have to see that there will be a complete review of exactly how this organization worked from 2001 onwards, especially in the last few years. It will be the first opportunity when the leaders will be together once again. So far, there have been virtual meetings, whether in the BRICS or RIC or SCO context. So because of the pandemic. Secondly, the most important thing is that because India is going to take the baton next year, so henceforth the chairmanship of the SCO for next year will be passing on to us. So next year we will be hosting both G20 as well as the SCO summit, and hopefully in the SCO summit all the leaders, member countries will come. And also we have new member this time, Iran, which was admitted and will be fully participating. And what is happening in Afghanistan, that will be a very major concern because all the countries are involved in Afghanistan in one way or the other, and all of them have de facto recognized Taliban, if not the.
Mr. Trigane, Prime Minister has issued a statement before departing for Samarkand. In the statement, he said that he was looking forward to exchanging views on topical, regional and international issues, including the expansion of SCO, on further deepening of multifaceted and mutually beneficial cooperation within the organization. So how do you see Prime Minister's departure statement?
This is the key issues that have been discussed in the SCO, and rightly so that the Prime Minister today is talking about these issues will be with all his interlocutors. As I mentioned earlier, that there are international challenges at the moment which we are seeing as a result of the Russia-Ukraine war. Now we are seeing a conflict in Armenia and Azerbaijan. They may not be the part of this, but Russia definitely is a security provider there. China has a great interest in the Central Asia. India has a great interest in Central Asia. It is also all the countries are worried about what is happening to Taliban, how to move forward with Taliban. India has also opened its mission in Kabul. So I think all these issues, although Afghanistan, Taliban has not been invited to participate, but it will be very much part of this. Then there are Iranians who are also first time will be talking as a full-fledged member, and India and Iran have very good relations, but Iranians are also looking at the possibility that to use SCO as a forum to project themselves, especially in the wake of JCPOA. So when Prime Minister is saying that he'll be discussing about various dimensions of the regional issues, the international issues, the trade, energy, counterterrorism, those are the key pointers in this organization.
As you mentioned about the possibility of interaction between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping. So the talking point in the last few days has been that whether there will be a bilateral. So what is your view? I mean, do you expect a bilateral between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping?
Both the sides are pretty silent about it. So they wanted to see whether the 12th September work has been fully completed to the satisfaction of both sides and whether anything is going to come out further. There will be a civility between the two leaders, and even if there is not a formal dialogue, which I think might happen. If there is no formal dialogue, they will definitely have the pleasantries exchanged between the two, because see, when two leaders, there are three major powers at the moment in the SCO, there's China, there's Russia, there's India, and all three of them have interacted in RIC format, in the BRICS format, in the G20 format, and again they'll be meeting in Indonesia, Bali for the G20, and most likely in India. So we are going to be the host next time. So I would not discount the fact that there might be a bilateral.
Terrorism has been a very key focus area for India because we have been victim of cross-border terrorism from Pakistan. And India has been discussing ways and means to deal with terrorism in SCO RATS, that is the organization which is tasked to deal with various security challenges facing the region. So Pakistan, one of the member countries of the SCO supporting terrorism. So do you see SCO actually effectively being able to do something to contain terrorism in our region?
I would hope so, but who's going to bail the cat? The fact is that Pakistan itself says that it is also suffering from terrorism without mentioning that it is the propagator and the harbinger of the terrorist groups, which has been very clearly identified and the world knows about it. On the other hand, you have China, which has been putting technical hold on the Masood Azhar and his brother and all that from being brought under the purview of the international terrorists. So we have those kind of problems, but at the same time, it is true that Shanghai Cooperation Organization was essentially to target against terrorism and against extremism and radicalization. So that has been a core value of this, apart from collaboration and trade, economic tourism, and all those connectivity, etc. They are very much part of the organization. This is an organization which is also acquiring greater heft because we are seeing Saudi Arabia, we are seeing Qatar, and several other countries trying to be the observers in this. Even the United States at one time had shown interest in becoming an observer. So let's see. But terrorism is a major point for India, and I think for the organization.
Do you expect SCO to play a successful role in containing terrorism in the region? Can SCO ensure practical cooperation among the member countries so as to force Pakistan to do concrete action against terror groups operating from its
Yes,
side?
I think that there is a significant possibility because that is one of the core values and the principles that it stands for. And that is the reason the SCO RETS has been created, and India has been holding the charge of it in the last 1 year, and it has been holding exercises. They have developed a new, India has also, there was an exhibition here, I think, in India, in which the Indian side displayed various kinds of methodologies, tools, techniques for combating terrorism. So there are practical cooperation that is now taking place among all the members, including Pakistan. And Pakistan is already under the lens of the FATF and under warning from various international organizations and countries for containing terrorism.
Two more areas actually, the energy security as well as connectivity are of focus among various member countries of the SCO. Do you expect any concrete practical outcome from the summit on expanding cooperation in ensuring energy security in SCO member countries, as well as in fact enhancing overall connectivity in the region to boost trade?
India will be flagging Chabahar Port and International North-South Transport Corridor as a major connectivity issues, and we have directly seen its benefit during the Russia-Ukraine war when imports have been flowing in from Russia and via Iran. So there is definitely the connectivity is a major point, and of course energy security. This is why Iran has been asking that India should also, like it is buying from Russia, it should also try to buy from Iran using its strategic autonomy. That remains to be seen what decision India takes. But I'm sure during the meeting with Raisi, that would be a point of discussion because we are energy deficient. So likewise, there are Turkmenistan and some other countries which have been interested in these pipelines, but they have been through Afghanistan and Pakistan. How that can be worked out, so connectivity issues are for all the countries which are mutually beneficial, whether it is for energy security or whether it is for trade connectivity in this moment.
As you said, the summit is taking place at a time when we have witnessed geopolitical turmoil triggered largely by crisis in Ukraine as well as China's aggressive military behavior in the Taiwan Strait. So what is your expectation from this summit? What are the key outcomes that we can look forward from the summit of the SCO in Samarkand?
Well, of course, there will be a statement which will reiterate all the right pointers that have been going on for there. Global issues are still there. Terrorism is very much there. There will be greater focus on reducing the conflicts or, for that matter, unilateral interventions. And those are the kind of things that will be done. But you must see that also how the Russia plays out its cards, because that's also very important in this. But personally, I see that the situation is so fluid around the globe that the statements that will be coming out will eventually be only indicative rather than definite.
There have been speculations about whether, in fact, Prime Minister Modi will have a bilateral meeting with the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. So what is your take actually? Do you expect a bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Sharif?
And I don't see real formal bilateral meeting taking place, but it is possible that they will exchange pleasantries because they know each other also. So there cannot be much meat in the meeting if it at all happens. But I doubt very much that this meeting in a formal manner will happen.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Triganet, for overall perspective about the SCO as well as possible outcome from the SCO summit in Samarkand tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.